do I start? Where do we even start? When it rains, it pours, but boy, oh boy, has it been raining for a while. Empoli, by the way, Empoli haven't won a game since December. Empoli have conceded over 45 goals in this area. No matter who comes up against Empoli, the one thing you're guaranteed is, we're eating good. We're scoring goals. Juventus at home, star-studded starting 11. Empoli spent just under 10 million in the summer in regards to reinforcements. Juventus spent under 200 million. 1-1. 1-1. To go out in a penalty shootout. You know what? Let's just cheer up the mood. Let's talk about something different. What's everybody's favourite fruit? My opinion, pineapple, the most overrated fruit. Pineapple juice is not good. People have pineapples on their pizzas. Pineapple, I stay away from it. Do you know what's the number one fruit? Bananas. A banana, the potassium. Listen, no matter what you put a banana on, it tastes elite. You can make banana bread. I have bananas on my waffles, on my crepes, on my pancakes. I put bananas in my smoothies. Nothing comes close to a banana. Let's talk about the game. I feel like everyone watching that game comes out of it thinking, Kenan Yildiz, you missed the decided penalty. Dusan Vlahovic, you're supposed to be the guy that sets the tone, take the first penalty, put that confidence in your teammates. He skied it outside of Italy. The ball's landed in Belgium. I feel like just looking at the game and telling yourself Juventus lost because of penalties is very, very, very naive. In my eyes, I look at Motta. Because I tell myself, Motta, how on God's earth does this game end 1-1 come the 90th minute? When it comes to the penalty shootout, I don't blame Motta. Motta doesn't pick the 5 players. The 5 players are picked based off confidence. That's it. You, 12 yards out, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Motta's got nothing to do with it. Motta's got a massive part in why in 90 minutes against Empoli, Juventus scored 1 goal. And I've said this so many times this season. When Juventus score a goal, it's never ever a team goal. It's never ever a goal that comes from patterns of play. It's hardly ever a goal from Juventus pressing relentlessly and forcing the opposition into mistakes. It happens here and there, but not on a consistent basis. How many times have Juventus this year scored a goal from individual brilliance? Like a player that just shows X factor. A player that scores a goal that's not really taught in training. A player scores a goal where it doesn't matter whether Motta is here or he's not. This player will continue to score similar goals. Kefran Turam carries the ball. That's skill. Bro, Motta did not teach him that skill in training and tell him, against Empoli on the left-hand side, you're going to get into this zone and do it. No. That is all X factor. That is all individual brilliance. Why are Juventus relying on individual brilliance? And I've said this so many times this season. When you rely on individual brilliance, it is one of the most unsustainable ways of scoring a goal. The most unsustainable. Because how many times are you going to score a goal from outside the box for 30 yards? How many times are you really going to pick up the ball, nutmeg a player, flick it over his head and volley it into the top corner? How many times does that happen? Patterns of play, structure, chemistry. It's disappointing, I'll be honest with you guys, because Juventus had 75% of the ball? Juventus had 75% of the ball. They sustained pressure. They recycled. They dominated the ball. They suffocated the opposition. And this is when everybody was sat looking at Juventus and saying, cool, you've got the star players. You've got the attacking players. You're dominating the ball. Empoli are just sitting back. What can you do? This is where I look at Motta. And I'm like, okay, cool. Where are the patterns? Where are the patterns? Which areas should they exploit? What is Empoli's weakness? What is Empoli's pressing triggers? You never know. Maybe they've got a centre half. That's not good in possession. So why don't you double press him? Because you know he'll make a mistake. That mistake can turn into a goal scoring opportunity. Juventus the whole game, they hardly pressed. Juventus the whole game, they just kept going left, right, and then eventually someone crosses the ball into the box. The crossing is shambolic. Nobody in this team knows how to cross a ball. Is that the game plan? Was that the game plan going into Empoli? Just left, right, put the cross into the box. Was that the game plan? Because if that is the game plan, then as wild as this may sound, for the first time this season, I am looking at Motta and I'm telling myself, maybe, just maybe, the job's too big for you. Maybe, just maybe, the job's too big. And it happens. I'll be honest with you guys, this isn't criticism. It happens. Sometimes you need an extra 2-3 years at a club without the pressure, without the demands, without the expectations. At a club where you know I can win, lose or draw And nobody would look at me. I can continue to work on my football. When you come to a team like Juventus, and this applies to any team in this area, if you're at a club like Juventus, at Milan, at Inter, you're expected to win. You're expected to win. To lose to Empoli, it's unacceptable. I'll be honest with you guys, unacceptable. And I am Thiago Motta's biggest fan. I am probably Thiago Motta's biggest cheerleader on social media. I am. I am. Trust me, I have the receipts. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough because I couldn't believe I was watching that game. And before Thuram scored, I was actually telling myself, Juventus might lose 1-0. That's when you know it's not good enough. Thuram scored on the 60th minute. On the 66th minute. On the 1 hour mark, I was watching Juventus and I was like, there is a serious possibility Juventus might not score. But Juventus had Dusan Vlahovic on the pitch. They had Kolo Muani on the pitch. They had Koop Meiners on the pitch. So you've got all of these stars. And I'm sat telling myself, you guys might not score. And then after they scored, nothing. It's not good enough. I'll be real. I look at the starting 11. I don't know why Nico Gonzalez continues to start. I will be so honest. Listen, my email is in the description. If anybody knows why Nico Gonzalez continues to start for Juventus, please let me know. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I've said this before. Tunnel vision, defensive winger. He doesn't help the team in attack. He helps the team a lot off the ball. He tracks back. He gets stuck in. He wins his duels. Defensive winger. He's not a threat in the final third. Like, see, when he has the ball in the final third, I'm never sat telling myself, look at what he's about to do. Oh, he's a player that has that decisive pass. Oh, he's a player that's got this killer strike on him. Every time he gets the ball in the final third, he gives it away. I don't know why Nico Gonzalez continues to start. I will be so honest. Kenan Yildiz, that left side is his. If you don't want to play Kenan Yildiz, I'll play Mbangula. I'll be honest with you guys, I'll play Mbangula. Kenan Yildiz comes off the bench today and does really well. Besides the penalty he missed, he done really well. He helped Juventus a lot. Locatelli. Why is Locatelli not starting? Koop Meiners. I'm really beginning to get to a stage where Koop Meiners for me is starting because of one of the two. Either he's got Thiago Motta's newt. 2, price tag. When you sign a player for X amount of money, they come with assurances. Like when agreeing a deal with a player, when you sit down with his agent, they ask the question, what is the role for Koop Meiners at Juventus? Is he a squad rotational player? Is he a guaranteed starter? If he is a guaranteed starter, in what position? I wouldn't be surprised if the contract states Koop Meiners will be a guaranteed starter in this team. He is an integral team player. Because I'll be honest with you guys, there's no merit. There's no merit. And I'll be honest with you guys, from watching football over the years, I watch too much football. From watching football over the years, the one way to destroy a locker room, the quickest way to get the players to turn on you is nepotism. Nepotism is favoritism. Once players begin to see an element of favoritism where players are starting and they don't deserve to be starting. Players are completing 90-minute games and they don't deserve to be completing 90-minute games. That's when heads begin to turn. That's when heads begin to turn. Because Koop Meiners has been awful this whole season. As of late, he's impressed. He's gone from giving a 4 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. He's improved, but a 5 out of 10 is still not good. Koop Meiners should have never ever started. Locatelli comes on, does way better than him. Kenan Yildiz comes on for Nico Gonzalez, does way better than him. And fair enough, maybe Thiago Motta was looking at the game thinking, I don't need to play them. It's Empoli. It's not good enough. Dusan Vlahovic, I made a video before the game. I was like, this is the game for Dusan Vlahovic. Like, he's got fire in his belly. He's got a point to prove. He's finally being rewarded for his good performances off the bench. We get to see Kolo Muani, Dusan Vlahovic. This is what I was saying. Let down. I'll be honest. I ignore the penalty. I don't look at the penalty. I'm disappointed that he missed the penalty, especially a player of his ability, a player that's usually reliable from the spot. But listen, confidence, fatigue, these things happen. But I just look at his 90-minute performance and I say, you know what? You didn't do enough. You didn't do enough. You got the ball into dangerous areas and I feel like he was trying to overdo it. Sometimes the first touch was the difference between a shot on goal and a shot not on goal. It was just a poor performance. So many times, cross would come in, either he's committed forward. It was a poor performance from Dusan Vlahovic. And I'll be honest, as wild as this may sound, me being his biggest fan, maybe, just maybe, him missing the penalty is the end of his Juventus chapter. And it's a shame because I feel like that's what he'll be remembered for. That's what Dusan Vlahovic will now be remembered. He was the guy that played a part in Juventus being knocked out in embarrassing fashion to Empoli in the Coppa Italia. But he didn't do well. I'll be honest with you guys. He didn't play well. One part of me was even shocked that he played the whole 90 minutes. The only players that could really leave with their head held high, I feel like Kenan Thuram. I don't know why, as of late, this guy has not been starting. But wow, like, you can definitely make a case. He is Juventus' best midfielder. He's physical, he's technical, the ball carrying, the technical ability in the final third, the eye for goal. Kenan Thuram is an amazing player. Kenan Thuram, shout out Gintuli. You actually got one signing, spot on for the right amount of money. Kenan Thuram was amazing today. Kolo Muani, the fact that he was playing out of position, I feel like he also done really well. One minute on the left, 1 minute on the right. He was direct, he was dynamic, he always looked for the pass. He tried to get the ball into the final third. He was causing havoc all over the pitch, yeah? Fair play to him. He stepped up, he took his penalty, he scored. But it's crazy because Juventus' season is practically done, in my opinion. Like, when Juventus got knocked out of the Champions League in the playoffs, everyone was sat telling themselves to salvage the season, Coppa Italia top 4 in the Serie A. Juventus are now knocked out of the Coppa Italia to Empoli. It's not as if they came up against Inter, Napoli, Atalanta, or even Milan. Empoli. If Juventus, I'll be honest with you guys, if Juventus don't get top 4, all the criticism and all the question marks on Thiago Motta, they're warranted. They really are. They're warranted. This is a squad that spent just under 200 million. They look clueless. They struggle to score goals. They concede opportunities. Fair enough, people might turn around and say, Bremer got injured. They had a massive dent. Renato Vega got injured. If Juventus lost to Inter, I'd completely agree with you guys when you say Bremer got injured. When Juventus lose to Empoli, it doesn't matter who's out there on the pitch. You should get the job done. They couldn't get the job done against Empoli. They looked clueless. They struggled at times to play out of the back. They couldn't contain the opposition. Perrin at times was saving Juventus against Empoli. I feel like people really forget who the opposition were. Empoli, who haven't won a game since December. Make of it what you want. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. And I will catch you guys on another one.